Hello, my friends on YouTube. Thank you very much for the hint that there are external microphones that will reduce noise. Well, I appreciate the tip, and I got one. I hope the quality is better. I am very sorry, I must admit, I am not the best computer guy. And by the way, because I'm not the best computer guy, I have a project, and I'm wondering if any of you can offer help in the computer area. There are certain videos, ironic videos by Muslims on YouTube, and I've seen these videos, and they are really, some of them make my blood boil. However, I need somebody who I can send him that one of these videos, and I will dissect the video to certain segment, and I wonder if this person, he or she, can put it together. I will put the numbers and everything, and if he can put it together as one video, I will appreciate that, and we will definitely expose many things in Islam. Another thing I would like to ask for, because nowadays YouTube, uh, they have their policy, and their policy actually, um, they have their business with the Middle East, and more or less they try to protect the Muslim interest, even on the price of freedom of speech and freedom of the press, which here in America it's called the First Amendment, to express yourself, to express your mind. So I'm afraid that one day they will shut my channel, because I get, especially in the Arabic videos, I get so many negative, hateful response. I'm not afraid of I don't care really. I'm not worried about their response. Thank God I live in America. I live in Pennsylvania, and I'm always armed. So that is not a concern for me. And if I die, I die. It's good to die for a good cause. It's not that I'm looking to die, but I mean, at least when you are standing for a cause, if you die, then you are dying an honorable death. So that's a beginning. Last week I wanted to speak about the subject, which was when Trump went to North Korea. So the title of the subject: North Korea, Iran, and Pakistan. These three countries, it's another trinity. You can call it holy, you can call it unholy. It is up to you. But in my opinion, it's another unholy trinity. But we don't want to give it the same name as the previous video. Anyway, let's start. I had a young man who asked me to speak about Pakistan. I'm not from Pakistan originally. I'm from Egypt, so I can't say I know a whole lot about Pakistan, but I know that Pakistan is a Muslim majority country, and I know the feeling of the minority of the people who live in these type of countries, specifically if you are Muslim and you leave the faith. If you leave the faith and you say you don't, if you say I'm an atheist, they probably will not attack you as much as you say I became a Christian. And I know that this person he became a Christian, and I understand the anxiety and the pain that these people go through, and the intimidation and the fear. So uh, I'm not listening of what he is going through. Many people actually write to me, especially in on the Arabic channel, that they don't believe in Islam, they don't believe in Muhammad, they don't believe in any of that nonsense. But because they are living in an Islamic country, they are so fearful to declare that, because if they do, they can be murdered, cold-blooded on the streets. So I don't want to see that for them. I understand their dilemma. I'm living in America, so I am in a way I'm enjoying, uh, at least until now, the right of the First Amendment of the American Constitution, which is freedom of speech. I can express my mind on their behalf too. All right. So what I found in Pakistan, when I started to look, there was a troubling, I'm going to mention that in the beginning, a troubling situation about one lady. Her name is Asia Bibi. You can search her name um, on YouTube. Asia, A is like the continent Asia, but in Arabic we call it Asia. So it's Asia Bibi, Bibi. And this lady, she is on a death row. Why? She's she's from Pakistan, and she's on a death row. And despite that, many organizations are calling for her release. She is not released, and she's still on a death row, and she can be killed at any moment. So when I looked what she had done, I know she haven't done anything wrong. Okay, she's a Pakistani woman, but she's a Christian. And she was working, and one of her co-worker accused her that she insulted Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. And if you know the Muslim religion, if you insult God, you can be forgiven. If you insult Muhammad, there is no forgiveness. And if they forgive you, you still have to be killed. So if you live in a Muslim majority country and you are Muslim, and somebody accuses you of insulting Muhammad, you can defend yourself and say, no, I didn't, this guy is lying, and it will be your word against his, and if you deny, most likely they will dismiss the case. However, if you are a Christian or a Jew and you insult Muhammad, this is absolute death sentence. Even if there is no witness, even if you did not do that, you will be killed. And that is the case of this lady, Asia Bibi. When you live under the Islamic rules, you are not really looking to pick a fight with anybody, especially with these Muslims who are always anxious to kill you. So I believe really this woman did not say anything about Islam or Muhammad. However, Muslims are always trying to convert in these countries. I remember very well, if you have a Christian neighbor, you are always pushing your ideology, your Islamic, the Muslim, they will push their ideology on this neighbor. So most of the Christian in these countries, from my experience, and I know the Christian in Egypt and how they live, they kind of keep to themselves. They don't want to really talk so much with non-Christians, because they can be accused of anything at any time and they can be murdered. Right? So this lady here, she is working, and in her workplace, another woman, Muslim woman, accused her that she insulted the Prophet of Islam. And since then she is in jail, I think 5 years now. She is in prison on death row. And I really, why she's so long, it's not like they are really debating her case. No, not at all. This is from Islamic tradition. This is now a bargaining chip with the West. You want her out, you give us this. Nobody told me this. I know how these things go in the Muslim countries. She is a bargaining chip. So I don't know if you want to support this woman, you can make a YouTube yourself, make a video and speak out. And we cannot really, even if you are Muslim, do whatever you can. Even if you ask a Christian person to make the video on your behalf, or a Pakistani Muslim who is in another country, free country in Britain or in Australia or America, to make that video on your behalf. We can't be intimidated by a bunch of bullies. I wish they were bullies. Bullies are, you can deal with. These are mass murderers. So let's put this out of the way about Pakistan in the beginning. Now we're going to speak about President Trump and his meeting with Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. And what does that mean to Pakistan, or rather to Iran and then Pakistan? First, these three countries are countries with nuclear capability. The three of them. And unfortunately, during President Obama administration, this guy was, in a way, I really regret that we are going to pay dearly for the damage that he had done to the country, to America, and to the world. I really don't know if I believe he done that on purpose. I believe he was trying to help the Islamic ideology to take over. He made few mistakes on the air in several interviews when he speaks. He says, my faith, and he's talking about Islam, my faith. So in a way, he's a Muslim undercover, because it's easier to work like that than when he entered the White House as a Muslim. So he can do whatever he wants, and he support Taliban, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram. He is with that, but he doesn't declare it. And this is one of the Islamic principles. When you are a minority, when you are small, when you don't have the upper hand, there is something called taqiyya. Taqiyya, that means you lie for the sake of the higher purpose. So he is practicing what Muhammad told him to do. Yes, he was the president, but if he declared that he is a Muslim, then everybody will be alarmed. And if he goes to Iran and make a deal with Iran, then you must be giving something to Iran. But if he is going as a Christian, he can do whatever he wants and he can get away with it. which he did. So he gives Iran cash, and he told them how to bypass certain American loopholes to make the nuclear bomb. And now Iran is a nuclear, well, they don't have the bomb yet, but they have the technology. It's just a matter of time. North Korea, I mean, these things normally it is a secret. It's a national secret work. They don't probably North Korea already have nuclear bombs. Probably Iran has nuclear bombs. Pakistan definitely have nuclear bombs. But Pakistan is not a direct threat now because Pakistan has India right next door, and they are really enemies of one another. So India is much bigger country and has more nuclear capability than Pakistan. So these people, Pakistan will be at the end. But President Trump, I really appreciate his move. That the first move, he went to North Korea because this is the country that it is desperate. This is like an injured tiger. And when a big animal is injured, this animal is most dangerous. The big animals are most dangerous when they are injured. North Korea, I've been to Korea a few times, and the Korean people, they have certain pride, especially in the north. I never been to North Korea, but I was told that they have certain pride, and they feel they feel their pride is injured in a way by the rest of the world, and therefore we can see that Kim Jong-un, he was in the beginning they said they will meet, and then Kim Jong-un started to play games like he was trying to show his people, I'm on top, I'm dictating to President Trump and the West and the whole world what to do. I'm the boss and they have to listen to me. And when Trump said, okay, forget it, we're not going to meet, he knew that will be the end of North Korea. So he said, no. He changed his tone of voice, and he said, no. Okay, let's meet. And anyway, they met, and it was a productive meeting, and it is a step to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. That was very good. The thing is, once this happened, Iran will be next. Why? Because maybe 15 years ago, these three countries had no nuclear capability at all. Or maybe 20 years ago. After the Soviet Union collapsed, all the nuclear physicists that were working in the Soviet Union, they became jobless. They have nothing to do. Then they looked for work. These people are not going to work as a hotel manager. These are nuclear physicists. Their expertise is in that area. So they looked for jobs. So who took them? North Korea, Iran, Pakistan, and other countries. terrorist countries. Libya took. So all of a sudden, remember during President Obama's administration, Libya gave up its nuclear program because they felt America started to feel intimidated by the Middle East having nuclear capabilities. So they told him, it's either you get rid of it or we will kill you. So he opened the door and he said, okay, come and disassemble it. So the American went to Libya and disassembled the nuclear capability of Gaddafi, president, the leader of Libya. After that, they killed him. That was the plan. Kim Jong-un of North Korea knew that that can happen to him. So he didn't want to give up his nuclear capability very easily because he knew he wanted, in a way, he wanted more guarantees that, so that he wouldn't end up like the leader of Libya, Gaddafi, or Saddam Hussein of Iraq, because Saddam Hussein also, he hired some of these nuclear scientists to work on nuclear bombs. So North Korea was afraid of that. I don't know, nobody knows the details or the guarantee that President Trump did, but he definitely diffused the situation as a start. And the guy, the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, he decided to give up the nuclear armament. That's a good step. Now, if this happened to a country that it is more advanced in weapon production and military might than Iran came to its knee in a way. We can't say that to them because they have a lot of pride, but keep them with their pride, but take away that dangerous weapon. The next would be Iran. And once you break that trinity, if it's only two countries left, they will have to comply. The most dangerous when it becomes three, when they make an alliance of three. Somehow things happen so quickly when it is three united together on the same accord. So now Kim Jong-un is out of the equation. Then the next step will be Iran. After Iran, the least threatening country to the world is Pakistan. Why is that? If you study Islam in the Arabic language, you actually become like a demon in a way. Because the language of Quran, it is really Arabic language. It is like both Hebrew and Arabic. It's almost the same. So both language, they are really kind of emotional, artistic languages. And you can steer people's emotion through poem or through charge them. And the Quran is nothing but poem to charge people against other people, to murder them. So when you understand the Arabic language and you study Islam and you become a true Muslim, you are charged with hate even without you knowing it. Pakistan, they don't speak Arabic. Iran, they don't speak Arabic. So Any country that is Muslim country, Albania, for example, it's a primarily Muslim country, but they have no idea what the Quran says, and therefore, most of them they eat pork, most of them they drink alcohol. It's not like everybody else in Albania or like in Europe. Is nothing. It's just they identify as Muslim. That's it. Whereas the Islamic countries who studied Arabic, you learn Arabic in school from childhood and you study Islam, it transforms your heart to make you evil automatically. Okay? So few people they really deny that and they say that's an evil religion. I was one of these people. But it's not the same for everybody because it's very deceiving. So this is a hopeful sign. Once North Korea is done with, the second step will be Iran, and the third step will be Pakistan. After that, the world will hopefully it will go with ease. And if it does, the world will enter into a relative peace until we get rid of this cancer called Islam. I need to answer. That's about this situation, about this video. There are a couple of questions from one person. His name is Joss Norhoff. I'm sorry. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And his question was, do you think socialist Marxist-minded people could or will form opposition to Islamism? This is a very complicated question. The problem with Islam and the Muslim, they really don't think, and they are willing to put their hand with the devil or with anyone to advance the cause of Islam. And the problem is the same with socialism. Socialist Marxists, they do the same thing. So I really look at Islam and Marxism, the ideology of Karl Marx, as two sides of the same coin. They are kind of like identical. It's just a time lapse between the two of them. Muhammad came 1400 years ago, Karl Marx about a couple of hundred years ago. The only difference is the time, but basically the end, this was Marxism, the end justifies the mean. And it is exactly the same in Islam. It doesn't matter how many you lose. It doesn't matter how many people die. It doesn't matter how much blood is shed. You have to advance the cause of Allah. And what's the cause of Allah? Is to establish caliphate. What's caliphate? Is a dictatorship. The caliph will tell the people how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, what kind of work you do. It is like you become totally dependent on the system. You have no freedom of your own to do whatever you want. Okay? The order comes from above. You take order from the person above you. The person above you, he takes from the one above him. It's a hierarchy system, and anyone leaves the hierarchy will be murdered. And it's the same thing in Marxism, and we saw that in the countries, socialist countries, that communist countries, I'm sorry, in the Soviet Union, in China, in North Korea. Anyone who does not follow the hierarchy that is coming from above they are murdered. So, however, yes, they will not fight with each other right away. They will not. But they can work hand in hand for a while. And at the end, they will have to confront each other because each one wants to establish his own dictatorship. And each one thinks, I am the right one. Because Karl Marx's theory is very much similar to Muhammad's teaching, except that he takes God out of the picture. Muhammad puts Allah in the picture. So actually it's more dangerous because when you say Karl Marx theory can be changed. Theory can be proven wrong and you can leave it. But when you say something coming from the Almighty God, how can you change something coming from the Almighty God? You cannot. That's why in one of my videos I spoke about the Pope when he said homosexuality is no longer sin. Sin or not is none of my concern, is not the issue. But how come, according to the Christian and Jewish teaching, it was sin yesterday, and this morning you come and declare that it is no longer a sin? So for all these years you are deceiving people if it was not a sin? Or what happened? Why all of a sudden it became not sin? He didn't explain. So if there, for example, the Ten Commandments of of Judaism, it's either they are from God or they are not. It's either we follow them or we don't. That's it. You cannot come after about almost 4,000 years and say, well, the third commandment of the Ten Commandments is not good, so we're going to take it off. No, it's either all of it good or all of it nonsense. So at the end, at the very end, if we continue, I hope Marxism, I'm not really worried about it because it will collapse. It will collapse. Socialist Marxist, it proven a failure. Look at Venezuela. You don't need to go far. Venezuela was one of the most prosperous nations in South America, with very good economy, booming economy. Once Hugo Chavez turned it into a socialist system, they are killing each other on this. They are eating rats, whatever they get, the cats, rats, dogs, whatever they can get their hands on, because there is nothing else to eat. There is no food in the stores. Everything is controlled by the government. So socialism will collapse by itself. Marxism will collapse by itself. The problem when you make it socialist, but you put God in the picture, to make it a holy socialism or holy Marxism, then it becomes extremely dangerous. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comment, and hopefully we hear from you. Thank you. Bye.